The Legend of Zelda, one of the all-time classic franchises, intellectual properties owned by Nintendo. This game always, for me, has drummed up a lot of emotion, a lot of memories playing it as a child with my friends and family. But one of the things that Zelda has always done is it's always made these epic boss battles. And with these boss battles, one always tends to wonder, what is the best ones? Which are the ones that you feel are your favorite ones, the ones that tip off and hit you with so much emotion throughout time. In today's video, Toby will break down the top 5 boss battles in Zelda games. So without further ado, let's go, Toby.
Thanks, Bobby. What's up, guys? I'm here to show you my list of my top 5 Zelda bosses. I've got a 1 boss per game rule, but other than that, it's fair game. So let's get started. This first pick is kind of a personal one for me. Helmasaur King from my favourite Legend of Zelda game, A Link to the Past. I have memories of being very intimidated by this boss. He's the first boss from the Dark World's first dungeon. He's huge and red and has a scary mask on his face that you have to break off with the hammer or bombs, meaning you have to get up close and personal. Not only does this imposing boss take up most of the room, but there are spikes and a big swinging tower that comes at you. A truly iconic and terrifying boss. Plus, I love how the bosses explode in this game. Why don't all bosses do that? Number 4 is Ancient Automaton Coloctus. This is the best boss from Skyward Sword. He's very unique in that you must yank off one of his many arms and swing the weapon it was holding right back at the metal monstrosity. It's like fighting a big brass spider armed with massive scimitars, and what's not to love about that? At first he's fixed in place, but once you've damaged him enough, he grows legs and comes at you swinging a bunch of swords your way. I just love the design of this boss, it's so memorable. Number 3 is a bit of a cheat pick because I wanted to pick Blind from A Link to the Past for his memorable maiden trickery. But to abide by the rules, I'm picking Stylblind from A Link Between Worlds. Honestly, it's the next best alternative, and actually Stylblind has a few tricks up his sleeves as well. It's one of the more clever uses of the wall merging mechanic the game has. You have to merge with Stylblind's shield, which fools him into moving the shield backwards so you can pop out and stab him in the back. It's such a cool twist on this classic boss. He soon gets wise to your antics though, and tosses his shield out so you have to fight him head on. Luckily, he makes himself dizzy by doing a crazy spin attack which leaves him vulnerable for you to finish him off. It's really clever stuff. Number 2 is Evil Spirit from Beyond, Phantom Ganon from Ocarina of Time. This boss evokes the same childhood fear for me that Helmasaur King does, which is interesting because he's in the same placement in the game, being the first boss of the first dungeon you visit as adult Link when Hyrule is all dark and gloomy. First of all, the arena is downright cool. You're in an octagonal room surrounded by paintings which Phantom Ganon bursts out of. Did I mention you're fighting a flying ghost version of Ganondorf in a skull mask? It's terrifying and a very fitting boss for such a spooky dungeon. You have to shoot arrows at him as he comes out of the paintings, adding a puzzle element to the fight that tests your observation skills. In the next phase you play a deathly game of electric tennis. It's intense and epic. My final pick is Dark Lord Ganondorf himself from Twilight Princess. Specifically the final phase where you fight him in a one-on-one sword fight. Prior to this you battle across Hyrule Field on horseback with Zelda, which is cool enough, but it's the steel against steel battle that really puts my hairs on end. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. It's like every Star Wars fan's fantasy lightsaber battle against Vader, except it's Link versus Ganondorf. It's the 2000 Space World demo realised, but better. It's the final showdown. You've worked so hard to get here, and now you must use all your skills to best your nemesis. The sky is black and lightning strikes as you clash weapons and frantically bash the A button, pushing him back. He eventually falls over and you land the final blow, diving the Master Sword deep into his chest, and suddenly, silence. Ganondorf screams in agony before pulling himself to his feet, sword still buried deep inside. He is defeated. And that's the list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of my picks in the comments below. With that, I'll hand you back over to Bobby. Ciao for now.
Man, thank you, Toby. That was a fantastic list from top to bottom. Me personally, though, I just want to talk about this one battle that was epic for me, and that is the final battle against Ganon in Wind Waker. You're battling, it's this cartoony game, and you're thinking like it's so nice and laid back and like this pleasurable game, and then that final battle, that last killing moment when Link slams his sword right through Ganon's head. It's like it becomes this ultra violent game that you don't expect or don't see this moment happening. That moment to me capsulizes one of the greatest fights and battles that I ever remember from a Zelda game. It's one of my favorite battles, actually, just because of the back and the forth and the whole dynamic, and finally getting there and you're back in Hyrule and you're doing this huge battle. Just an epic moment. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. If you did, please let us know in the comments down below. Follow us. You can follow Toby over at Toby's_take on Twitter. You can follow myself at Nintendo Gurus. Please like, share, subscribe this. If you want more of these videos, please let us know. That is all. Peace out, Preston.